Welcome to a combat sports special of The Burning Issue. Was the fight between boxer Floyd Mayweather and MMA star Conor McGregor an insult to history? Does ringside judging make a mockery of boxing? And has heavyweight Deontay Wilder taken trash talk too far? Debate from the fight game, here on The Burning Issue. Ooh-hoo-hoo. The idea was pure gold. A fight between boxer Floyd Mayweather and MMA champ Conor McGregor. But was it an insult to history? In 2015, UFC megastar Conor McGregor mischievously said he was willing to fight undefeated 5-weight world champion Floyd Mayweather. From that seed, the idea of a cross-code meeting in some kind of boxing match grew towards reality. Anyone with half a brain saw straight through it. Floyd and his team at Mayweather Promotions were openly salivating over the dollar signs of a fight between the biggest, most marketable show pony in boxing versus the biggest, most marketable loudmouth in MMA.
I'm a pimp, rocking Gucci mink, and without me, this whole ship sink.
And man, did the idea offend purists.
Boxing is boxing and MMA is MMA. They're two separate sports. And it would be a joke, it would be an embarrassment for boxing if an MMA fighter were to go into the ring.
Our sport is being shown so little respect that people believe that this man can just come in from a completely different sport and beat the greatest fighter of our era.
I don't see it happening. I think it's a load of if I'm honest.
Floyd, though, was willing to fob off his peers.
I'm here. Let's make it happen.
What followed was a rare period of silence from the UFC's most flamboyant. 2017 became the Floyd Show, taunting McGregor while the paperwork was being negotiated.
If you really want to fight, sign the contract. You keep telling everybody, I'm scared of you, I'm scared of you. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get a contract typed up. I'm gonna get a contract typed up tonight. I'm gonna sign it, and I'm gonna fax it over to Conor McGregor and see if he's gonna sign it. Conor McGregor, you a
And hilariously, Money Mayweather didn't even try to cloak what was really on his mind.
To be in a sport and, you know, make 800 million is truly a blessing. And it won't hurt to throw another couple $100 million on top of that.
As openly shonky as it was, the Mayweather-McGregor super fight was gathering so much interest, it seemed inevitable. After the break, the sham threatened to dishonor a hallowed boxing record. The first half of 2017 was a haze of chatter about a super fight between boxer Floyd Money Mayweather and the UFC's biggest star, Conor McGregor. Finally, what seemed like rubbish fantasy was actually confirmed for the 26th of August in Las Vegas, with the veteran guaranteed $100 million and McGregor $30 million. It was to be a 12-round boxing match, and 10-ounce gloves would be worn, later reduced to 8 ounces to give McGregor a better chance. Experts from all corners weighed in on a matchup between the 40-year-old Floyd, the most effective defensive boxer ever to step into the ring, and McGregor, the supremely confident mixed martial artist in his late 20s with a left hand like a bolt gun.
Can Conor McGregor beat Floyd Mayweather? in a boxing match, not a hope in hell, in my opinion.
If McGregor gets inside a boxing ring, he'll get outclassed easy. I mean, McGregor has never fought a boxer ever in his life. It's a whole different sport. When you cannot click, when you cannot clinch, when you cannot do the arm bar, when you cannot choke somebody out, and you can only punch, it's a whole different sport. It's a whole different discipline.
Mayweather's one of the best fighters ever walked the planet. But he's a boxer, he's a pugilist. Conor McGregor is not.
Floyd Mayweather will win because the fight is in boxing, but not an MMA fight. So that's an advantage with Floyd, and I don't think McGregor is comfortable in boxing, pure boxing.
But Floyd himself pointed out that McGregor's only losses in the cage had come from submissions, and his tremendous striking power could be a genuine threat.
Every time Conor McGregor go out there and compete and win, he do it standing up. When Conor McGregor did lose, he lost on the ground. He didn't lose standing up. So he's a hell of a fighter, and he's a very, very tough competitor, and he has the will to win. And the UFC gloves is no different from boxing gloves. They're just a little bit smaller, but if a guy got power, he got power, and Conor McGregor got power.
And of course, UFC President Dana White wanted fans to believe it would be a contest.
Floyd's 40 years old. He hasn't fought in almost 3 years, okay? 2 years. He traditionally doesn't do well against southpaws. He's undefeated, but if you want to look at the kink in the armor, we look at southpaws. Conor is a southpaw. Conor is 27 years old, and Conor is a knockout artist, okay? All the guys that thought that Conor couldn't hurt him, every time he touches guys, they fall.
To the astonishment of all, McGregor gave Money a fight. He employed a rangy, awkward style, landing shots in the early rounds, causing the hyper-defensive Mayweather to come forward more than ever before. Eventually, Mayweather's boxing supercomputer found holes in the Irishman's plan. And by the 10th round, Conor was heading for the canvas when referee Robert Byrd stopped the fight. Former heavyweight champion Vladimir Klitschko summed up what many were thinking.
For
the first rounds, we can say Floyd was rusty. But on the other hand, McGregor wasn't an easy opponent to box against. He was fast. And Floyd respected McGregor's punches, because we all know he has power in his punches, both with the left and the right hands. And he has enormous power, and that made Mayweather a little more careful. I think everyone expected Mayweather to win, but I personally didn't expect McGregor to be this competitive, especially in the first rounds. He showed beautiful boxing. He followed all the rules of boxing. That was very clean boxing. Hard to imagine from a UFC fighter, a cage fighter. We didn't expect that. But he did really well. Hats off.
So yeah, Conor did well. But let's call this thing for what it was, a freak show. It wasn't a pure boxing match, and that raises a very real problem. Floyd took his record to 50-0, surpassing Hall of Fame heavyweight Rocky Marciano as the greatest all-time undefeated boxer. We're not denying Floyd beat some great fighters in his career, like Manny Pacquiao in their super fight of 2015, Canelo Alvarez in 2013, Sugar Shane Mosley in 2010, and Oscar De La Hoya in 2007. But again, the Conor fight wasn't boxing. It was a freak show. In the aftermath, there were signs the fighters were completely in cahoots. After all avenues of income were hauled, some estimates say Money walked away with $300 million and $100 million for Conor. There's speculation that the bizarre mask Mayweather wore on the way into the ring was his message that he was pulling off the biggest heist in boxing history. The Mayweather-McGregor super fight was a hugely entertaining and lucrative event, But it wasn't a genuine boxing match. And Floyd's 50-0 record should stay out of the history books. So we've covered off that Floyd won the fight. But we left out something about these two clowns that was almost as big a draw card. And that's the pre-fight mind games. In the lead up to August 26, a series of press conferences were held on a world tour that were more like rock concerts. The two greatest trash talkers of all time going head to head. No actual scorecard was kept, but let's review their war of words and decide who won. For the majority, it was a down-tempo Mayweather, confronted by the greatest showman of our time. We've had some classic moments from McGregor throughout his MMA career, but when he stepped onto his biggest stage to date, he completely set fire.
He could have rode off into the sunset 49-0. Instead, this is my first time in a boxing ring. And in 6 weeks, I run boxing.
With his army of Irish followers, he had Floyd drowning.
On the count of 3, I want everyone in this arena to scream at the top of your lungs, Mayweathers. 1, 2, 3.
It was almost like Floyd couldn't warm up, having lost his touch in the 2 years he'd been away from fighting.
I'm an old man. I'm not even the same man I was 20 years ago. I'm not the same fighter I was 10 years ago. I'm not the same fighter I was 5 years ago. I'm not the same fighter I was 2 years ago. But I got enough to beat you.
It was true, but come on. When he did get animated, it still didn't sing.
I'm the best, and I know I'm the best. And you know I'm the best.
He resorted to lame antics of disrespect and half-cocked attempts at defacement, which fell completely flat. Whereas Conor's pokes were perfectly timed, Floyd even acknowledging that one. So the first few rounds definitely go to Conor. After the break, Floyd wasn't at his best, but he didn't take it all lying down. The pre-fight press conferences between Floyd Mayweather and Conor McGregor were spectacles on another level, with the Irishman in his element. McGregor's comebacks were a thing of beauty.
Yeah, I feel good. I'm 40, but I look 20.
And you act 10.
Yeah.
Oh, he's old.
He made use of the fact Floyd's hands had taken too much punishment over the years.
I knock you the out, punk. Not with those brittle hands.
And milked the age difference. Mayweather 12 years his senior.
Floyd is an old, weak. Mate, you're 40. Get that phone out of your hand like a kid.
McGregor also loved pointing out his size advantage.
His little legs, his little core, his little head. I'm gonna knock him out inside 4 rounds, mark my words. His head is too small. 1 shot is all it takes me. Check the facts.
We now know Conor didn't have the chops, but damn, he had so many people convinced he did. He also leveraged the difference between the fighters' disciplines. Conor from the far more dynamic world of cage fighting.
I get to quadruple my net worth for half a fight. Sign me up. I mean, You mean no one's gonna kick? No one's gonna knee? No one's gonna elbow? And it's against this little Brillham.
It has to be said that Floyd landed a few shots. Where Mayweather was undefeated in the ring, McGregor had been beaten in the cage, each time via submission, including when he'd been choked by American Nate Diaz in their first fight and had to tap. Floyd took great joy in reminding Conor of that one.
We already know this right here, he like to quit. What the is that? We know Mr. Tap Out like to quit. And you will wave that white flag.
He had another angle, in that McGregor is a self-confessed materialist who took the Mayweather fight for the money, which ended up being around $100 million.
Ooh, say it again.
But Money Mayweather had earned around $800 million in his career to that point and walked away with around $300 million from the fight. Floyd used this to connect with UFC President Dana White, whose net worth was around $500 million.
Dana White, you fly! Dana White, me and you got money. We know who got the money.
But again, McGregor had the comeback. It was known Floyd had a few issues with unpaid tax at the time, and Conor wouldn't let it go.
Let me show you mother what a $100 million fighter look like. Still got $100 million, and then he never touched it.
That's to the tax man.
But there's one element of their encounter that set McGregor a mile above.
He's in a tracksuit. He can't even afford a suit anymore. What the is he wearing? He looks like a little breakdancer or something, a little 12-year-old breakdancer. What the He's 40! You're 40 years of age! Dress your age!
McGregor is famous for his dapper suits, which represent his personality to a T.
I don't know, it's just a suit my tailor made. It says you on the pinstripe. It's pretty good though. It's a good suit.
When Floyd did make a bit more effort in London, Conor danced all over him. And when they got to New York on the final stop, he took it to a whole new level.
Someone do something about this polar bear coat I've got on! Someone come up and stop me walking around this place like I own it!
We really have come across the new king of showmanship in Conor McGregor. He might have been beaten in the ring, but when it came to the pre-fight mental warfare, there was no question he ripped Floyd Mayweather to pieces. The fight between Gennady Golovkin and Canelo Alvarez was huge, but stained by a ringside judge, proving how shonky boxing can be. When the matchup between Kazakhstan's charismatic sleepmaker Gennady Triple G Golovkin and hammer-handed Mexican Sol Canelo Alvarez came together in 2017, it was tipped as the biggest boxing event since the Floyd Mayweather-Manny Pacquiao superfight. It boasted two of the most exciting middleweights in the sport. Triple G with a 37-0 record, 33 of those wins by knockout. And Canelo with 51 pro fights at only 26 years of age, with 49 wins and only one loss to Money Mayweather. Alvarez had taken loads of heat for dodging Golovkin. After destroying Amir Khan in May 2016, rather than fight Triple G, Alvarez instead opted for subpar token bouts with Brit Liam Smith and former light heavyweight champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., both of whom he pulled apart. Not what the fans really wanted. Theory went, Alvarez was putting the Triple G fight off as long as possible to let the seemingly unstoppable veteran get too old. Labeling Alvarez a coward, Golovkin settled for a no-contest fight with Englishman Kell Brook. Then in March 2017, at almost 35 years old, he met American Daniel Jacobs, who took him to 12 rounds and gave him way more trouble than expected, no doubt giving Alvarez extra hope. When Canelo finally stepped up in September, the controversy only got hotter. The fight went the distance and was everything fans hoped for. Alvarez came out on fire, dominating the opening rounds. But Triple G drew on his bottomless gas tank and dragged the fight back in his favor while the Mexican tired. Alvarez lifted for the final few rounds, leaving most feeling it was a fairly even affair. But then the bomb dropped. One ringside judge scored the fight 113 to 115 to Golovkin. The second, an even 114. But the third judge, Adelaide Bird, gave it to Canelo a ridiculous 118 to 110, ruling the fight a draw. It was a reminder that judging is so subjective. Triple G, having just had his flawless winning record tainted, wasn't happy.
This is terrible for sport, for boxing. You know, I'm a champion.
Boxing matches are tracked by the computer referee system, CompuBox, and it's interesting reviewing those numbers. The AI saw Triple G throw and land way more jabs, whereas Alvarez did more damage, with 41.9% of power punches finding their mark. Overall, the Mexican's accuracy appeared better, while Golovkin was clearly the more aggressive. So a draw probably wasn't out of the question, but that 118-110 score made a mockery of the whole event. You have to wonder whether the incentive of a lucrative rematch played any part. It's a bummer when a fight as big as Triple G Canelo gets tarred by the dodgy brush. Still to come on the burning issue, what's the point where trash talk gets taken too far? American heavyweight Deontay Wilder is a pretty scary dude. AKA the Bronze Bomber, he has loads of power, which very few opponents have withstood beyond the early rounds. Although most of those guys were mediocre. Bigger than his haymakers is his trash mouth, which he shoots off at any opportunity, betraying the nature of a certified schmuck. We started getting an idea of just how big a schmuck he was when he came up against his first half-decent piece of competition in Haitian-Canadian Bermain Stiverne for the WBC heavyweight title in 2015.
Cause I'm about to put this Haitian on permanent vacation. And the new Bomb Squad!
The fight was Wilder's first 12-rounder, which he won by unanimous decision, earning him the belt. He defended his title 5 times before a rematch with Stiverne in November 2017. And this, friends, is where Wilder elevated himself from schmuckish to downright deplorable. In the lead-up, he stated his intentions.
Somebody will die in that ring come November 4th. I promise. The ambulance better be ready. The medical better be ready. The referee better be ready. They better have that towel to be able to throw it in because every blow gonna mean something. This is death. I want a body on my record anyway. I want to put a body there. This just got even more personal. I beat her to an inch of life the first time. This time I'm gonna end his life.
Seriously, trash talk is one thing, but the body comment puts him right up there with Iron Mike Tyson when he said he wanted to eat Lennox Lewis's children. Wilder didn't get a body in the second encounter, He did pummel Stuyvesant, though, stopping him in the first round. But his pre-fight comment gave no incentive to celebrate him. It was too far, Deontay. Too far. There was one man among the event, though, who for a moment took the heat off Wilder, and that's the game's original schmuck, promoter Don King. Unpopular as one of the most manipulative officials in the history of boxing, he dug his hole deeper when he decided to publicly acknowledge Stuyvesant's birthday prior to the fight.
Happy birthday for me. So let's have maybe a little tune. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, new champion.
Enough. We'll put you out of your misery there, folks. Thanks for watching.